Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Rich Teacher podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you all today. We are going to be talking about interviews and job offers, what is required to land a job offer as a transitioning teacher. This is good for anyone who is looking to transition to the classroom. Also, even if you already have a job. So, we're gonna talk about it. So even if you have a job, because I have a lot of clients now who have been listening to my podcast and they still listen to my podcast and they may think, oh, I don't need to listen to this podcast anymore because I already have a job. No, keep listening because we're talking about interviews and job offers. Um, yeah, I'm so excited. Okay. Um, you all, I think I mentioned before, y'all are gonna see a little bit of shift on this podcast. I'm gonna really, really be heavy hitting some mindset because I realize that mindset is 100% of this journey. Okay, their strategy. You all are smart. Y'all will figure it out. But I want to kind of bring back the, if you haven't listened to my podcast episode about rich teacher, poor teacher, and the poor teacher is POUR, not poor, but even though we know teachers are not making that much money in America. Um, yeah, so we're going to talk about it. So, in this episode, we're talking about interviews and job offers. And if you see me looking to the left, if you're watching me on YouTube, I have all of my notes written on my whiteboard. So, I'm going to try to be looking at that to keep me on focus. So, yeah, let's talk about interviews and job offers. Okay. So, the biggest thing I want to talk about is the problem I see with teachers in the job search journey and even in the journey of getting another job, right? Because there are some teachers, a lot of teachers, there are a few teachers I work with now that have already transitioned out of the classroom, but they don't enjoy their job. This also presents as the people who have gotten jobs or they tried to leave corporate before and it didn't work and they got stuck. I even see some people say, "Oh, I left for my EdTech role and then that job got they abolished. They got rid of me." And I'm like, "Oh, so that's it? You done? No more job?" I'd be interested in those people. I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean they let you go?" And they think it's okay for you to be let go, but like, what do you mean you didn't get another one? Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Rich Teacher podcast. I'm so excited to chat with you all today. We are going to be talking about interviews and job offers, what is required to land a job offer as a transitioning teacher. This is good for anyone who is looking to transition to the classroom. Also, even if you already have a job. So, we're going to talk about it. So, even if you have a job, because I have a lot of clients now who have been listening to my podcast and they still listen to my podcast and they may think, oh, I don't need to listen to this podcast anymore because I already have a job. No, keep listening because we're talking about interviews and job offers. Yeah, I'm so excited. You all, I think I mentioned before, y'all are going to see a little bit of shift on this podcast. I'm going to really, really be heavy hitting some mindset because I realize that mindset is 100% of this journey. Okay, their strategy. You all are smart. Y'all will figure it out. But I want to kind of bring back the, if you haven't listened to my podcast episode about rich teacher, poor teacher, and the poor teacher is POUR, not poor, but even though we know teachers are not making that much money in America. Um, yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. So in this episode, we're talking about interviews and job offers. And if you see me looking to the left, if you're watching me on YouTube, I have all of my notes written on my whiteboard. So I'm going to try to be looking at that to keep me on focus. So yeah, let's talk about interviews and job offers. Okay. So the biggest thing I want to talk about is the problem I see with teachers in the job search journey and even in the journey of getting another job, right? Because there are some teachers, a lot of teachers, there are a few teachers I work with now that have already transitioned out of the classroom, but they don't enjoy their job. Yeah. This also presents as the people who have gotten jobs or they tried to leave corporate before and it didn't work and they got stuck. I even see some people say, "Oh, I left for my EdTech role and then that job got they abolished. They got rid of me." And I'm like, "Oh, so that's it? You done? No more job?" But I'd be interested in those people. I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean they let you go?" And they think it's okay for you to be let go, but like, what do you mean you didn't get another one? What do you mean you didn't get another job? So we're gonna talk about interviews and job offers. This also presents with teachers who are looking to get a new job. who are super duper duper excited about the interviews. They are so excited about the interview. Like, yeah, I got an interview. People want to hire me. People love me. Yeah, I'm getting the interview. And they think interviews are progress, which interviews are progress. Interviews are progress. But what I see a lot of is people get validation in the interview, and then the interviews mean, okay, close. They think they're closer to the job offer than they are. But we're going to talk about the difference between being excited about getting an interview versus being excited about getting a job offer. Okay. By the end of this, you're going to walk away with tangible steps of how you can have a rich mindset in getting a job offer. Okay. A job offer. Now you may be thinking, okay, but don't we need an interview to get a job offer? Yes, we do. However, we need to be more excited about the work required to get a job offer. I feel like a lot of us are sold on wanting to get a job. I did a group coaching call last night with my clients. It was every time we have a group coaching call, it's always the best. But in our call yesterday, we were talking about that feeling you get when you don't get the job from the interviewing and processing those emotions. So like I'm not telling you all to not feel your feelings. I'm not telling you to not get excited about interviews. I'm just saying like I want us to be excited about getting a job offer and be excited about the work required to get the job offer. I told my clients if you're a Harry Potter stan, I've been using this example often. But in Prisoner of Azkaban, when they are in, oh, I forgot her name, the professor. I know she's a Ravenclaw. The I forgot her name. But anyway, they were reading, I guess they were doing some type of thing, and Ron had read Harry Potter's Omen. And it's like, it says that you're going to suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it. And if you don't know what that means, like, or what I'm trying to say is that because if you watch Harry Potter, you know what that means. But if you don't watch Harry Potter did suffer, but he was also happy. And I want the same process to be put in this journey. Like for you all to think that you're not going to have a challenging time, like if you're going to continue thinking that you're not going to have challenges, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You are setting yourself up to feel like your failure is permanent. That's a good one. Because the normal thing to say is, or what people thought I was going to say is like you're saying so, setting yourself up for failure, setting yourself up for failure. You're just setting yourself up for your failure to feel permanent. Okay. If you don't get something right the first time, have y'all not listened to Aaliyah, dust it off and try again? Have y'all not heard that? Number one. But yeah, we want to sell ourselves on the work required to get the job offer. I remind people often. So I make multiple six figures and I don't make it by just it doesn't just fall out of the sky. Like I work on the weekends. I work at night. Okay. I force myself to have days off. That's why I'm getting and got my Disney pass so I can just go to Disney whenever I want to. But I force myself. Like I am going to be putting myself on a schedule where I'm going to force myself to go to the movie theater and force myself to go to Disney because I like to work. Okay. But I'm also a projector, which is a human design type where I am not meant to work long hours. Okay. But I just learned how to work all the work that I have to do. I learned how to do it. And it's not always glamorous, it's not always fun, but I know that though this work gets me what I want, right? Who else? And I'm not trying to compare myself to other people, but like when I remind myself of gratitude of what I do have, even though I don't have everything I want right now, like I am so excited that I have what I have right now. I have the luxury and ability to say, you know what, I need to get out of the house. Let me get a Disney pass. Some people say, okay, I need to get out of the house. Let me just go to the park. And that's fine, go to the park. But I'm like, I want to go to the Disney park. Because there's a park over, there's lots of parks where I live. I ever go to. I'm like, I need to go to Disney. See, I would say I sell myself on the work. And a lot of us, we are excited about getting this job offer. We're excited about, and this also presents um, as soon as you, and I mentioned it before, like as soon as you get the interview, like you start envisioning. You're like, okay, let's look at this salary. All right, 80 to 100K. I like that. I like that. How can I get that 100K? Oh, they got a 401k. Should I quit my job? Should I quit when? Should I quit? I wonder what I'll wear. Like y'all start envisioning. And the thing is, I want you to do that, but I also need y'all to like the work required to get the job offer. Okay, an interview is an interview. It's an interview. Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm gonna get to the end, but the end goal we're gonna get to that. But a lot of us are celebrating interviews like they're the wins. They are wins, but we need them to turn into job offers, right? If you are someone who gets a lot of phone screen interviews and you are not going to the next round, we have again an interviewing challenge that we need to overcome. Um, but again, you're celebrating interviews like they're wins. You're measuring your job search, um, like by interviews. Like I have a lot of clients who have said, like, "Oh, I just need an interview. Okay, I feel good. I feel good that I have an interview. Yeah, people want me." Then it's like, okay, oh, I didn't get the second round. It's like we're not really finding stability in this process. We're like finding validation in interviews. Like even when I talk about the resume, because resume is a big topic. People like want to have the magic resume that gets interviews, but there are people who have figured out how to get interviews, right? And they're like, "Oh, I don't need your help, girl. I know how to get an interview." I've had people book a call with me to work in my mentorship, and then like, "Oh yeah, I got an interview. I'm actually canceling the call." I'm like, "Okay, and I'm like, great." But then they come back, "Oh yeah, I didn't get it," or they'll kind of like, and again, some people go into a shame spiral. Some people, there's lots of ways, but like finding validation in the interview is like, if you configure your resume enough, you're gonna get an interview. Okay, you're gonna get an interview. But an interview is just they are reaching out to say, "Hey, I'd like to know if I'd want to hire you in this position," right? So like the interview is just an interview. Okay. We want to be prepared for them, but it is an interview. That's what I really want to hone in on. Okay. So this is kind of how the poor teacher mindset goes in there. If they interview me, they choose me, that means they want me. I had a great conversation with the recruiter. They liked me. They said they liked me. I felt really connected to the hiring manager. I felt really connected to the vision of that company. I crushed that interview. I know I did a great job, right? Or I just need one interview. If I just get more interviews, I'll be good, right? Like you all are using interviews as the gasoline. Like this is the premium gas. I just gotta keep getting interviews. Gotta keep getting interviews. Okay. So let's talk about all of these. I'm gonna look at my notes now. So let's talk about it. When it comes to interviews, I want you all excited about, if you are excited about interviews and you're not excited about interview practice, then you are someone who, and again, I always say find a coaching emotion. If you're someone who's excited about getting interviews, but you are not excited about interview practice, you are seeking validation in interviews when you need to be seeking validation in yourself. When I get an interview, I'm like, oh, let me pull his job description up and see what I'm about to tell them people. Interviewing doesn't have to be hard work, but if you're like, oh, I don't have enough time, I call it making excuses versus making progress. Oh, I didn't have enough time to practice for my interview. The interview came out of nowhere. Because I tell my clients when they get an interview, you need to schedule that interview within 24 to 48 hours. Like, oh, this interview came out of nowhere. I didn't have enough time. There's so many things to prepare for. It's like you're making excuses versus making progress. You can sit there and complain about it, or you can be practicing your interviews, but you should be excited about interview practice. It should be a non negotiable. Just how you brush your teeth every morning, you should be practicing for your interviews. And I know people don't want to hear it. And if you hear this, if you hear anything, you should know me. Can you interview? And I think one of my clients who I interviewed, so I remember telling people, if you want a job offer, put a sticky note on your computer and put "Can you interview?" and not interview like a teacher. If you ever listen to my podcast episode about corporate interviews versus teacher interviews, scroll and find that. But you need to interview at the corporate level. Interviewing is not like teaching. Teaching, they're going to interview you, and it really is just a formality. It really is just a formality. These interviews are not formalities. These interviews are like, they are shelling out, especially if you're looking for roles in the EdTech industry, but even for any corporate job. They are about to be dropping as low as $50,000 a year to $100,000, especially if you're looking for $100,000 job. Especially if you're someone who, oh, I only can make 100K, especially because I have some clients I only make, and I'm not making money on nobody. Y'all know I'm innovative. I only make 90 to 100K. I'm accepting jobs that are only 90 to 100K. Only. Only. Okay. But don't have no interview sheet filled out or are not showing up to their interviews like a six-figure interviewer. And I call them out, not in a mean way, but it's like, if you want that money, you must practice like that money. Like, I only make the money that I make because I know how to articulate my skills. I know how to sell, right? I know how to sell my skills. I tell people I can sell ice to people in Antarctica. Okay. I can sell ice to people in Antarctica. Oh, you got ice, but you don't got this ice. Okay. You don't got this ice. This ice? Damn. You have it. Listen, just take a bite, right? This ice is from the tropical place of Orlando, Florida. Have you been to Orlando, Florida, Antarcticans? Okay. This has, listen, and I'm just making this up. I'm just being funny right now, but like, I know how to sell my skills. That's the only reason I'm successful. I know how to sell, right? And when you are interviewing for corporate, you have to know how to sell your skills. It doesn't matter if you have a master's, a bachelor's, a doctoral degree, you're national board certified, you are certified in math, you're a certified instructional coach, you're certified in all these things. These are all things that, well, I'm not all those things, but I have a lot of these certifications, but I don't mention these in the interview. Okay. You must, if you are excited about interviews, ask yourself why you're not excited about interview practice. Okay. That's what happens. And those are the people who have, oh, I got the hack code. I know how to get interviews. They're just, because also see people who are like, I'm just going to keep getting interviews, keep getting interviews. To ask y'all, how many times so here's a framework that I came up with my clients, and I'm gonna, because it is all relevant, because I'm not here to just talk about it. I'm here to talk about how it presents and how you can move forward into a rich mindset of it. And I'm gonna go over all of that. But I just want to talk about all the way that it presents, just so that you can catch yourself. Because I know just by me being a high achieving woman, a lot of people are like, especially if people listen to my podcast and they come on to my consultation call, they're like, oh no, I'm not those people. I'm not on LinkedIn saying those things. Nope, I'm not applying for those. They're like letting me know that they're not doing those things. So sometimes when people are listening to my podcast, they're listening to say, oh no, I'm doing everything right. Nope, she's not talking about me. Nope, I am practicing my interviews. Okay. Nope, that's not me. So I'm trying to call all the things of how this presents. Okay. So, but one of them is making excuses and not progress. If you're getting interviews and if you're just excited about the interviews, and if you're someone who is posting every week on LinkedIn that you got an interview, and you're posting you're posting like a diary. Okay. Like Moesha. All right. I got it. Exciting news. I got an interview. Exciting news. And it's exciting to have an interview. But if you keep getting interviews and you don't have a second round or you don't have a third round, if you don't have, like, we have an interview that we need to work on. So that's why I want you to be excited about getting a job offer. Like, at one point, I want you to ask, okay, how many times am I going to get tired of getting interviews and not getting a job? And how many more times am I going to blame the recruiter? How many more times am I going to blame the job market? How many more times am I going to blame everybody else except myself? How are they a little bit right of why I'm not getting a job? Okay. I made a podcast episode about how to stop being ghosted by recruiters, and listen to that. But I like to always tell people, if the job wants you, they're going to let you know. Okay. Story time. One of the jobs that I got are my CSM positions. I remember when I was interviewing for the position, I was getting ready to go on a cruise for my birthday. Okay. I was getting ready to go on a cruise for my birthday. So in the interview process, most people would, I don't know what other people do, but for me, I'm like, I love this job, but I'm also going on a cruise, y'all. So, but I'm not leading with this. Like, I interviewed really well. Okay. And the reason I know I interviewed really well is because I watch all my interviews back, and I literally, like, some people ask me, like, how often do I have to practice for my interviews? Until you get a job offer. Until you keep getting good at job offers. But I bodied it. And one of the ways that you know you're doing well is they're letting you know on the call, oh, I know had set you up for your second round interview. If they're not setting you up for your second round interview on the first call, and I'm not saying that it happens all the time, but if you are getting the next interview right away, like they're not ghosting people that they want. Okay. When I let them know, after I did this after the second round interview. Actually, what happened is like I told them I was going out of town, and I believe because it was 5 interviews, one of the people who I had to interview was also going out of town. When I tell y'all, they made them interviews happen. So I did my first round. She let me know right away, hey, I'm gonna go move you to the next round. Here's the job assessment. And then here's the next one. Like you also will know that you're doing the job because the recruiter's telling you what to expect. If you have to keep asking, hey, like, can you tell me all the process? If y'all are getting mad that, oh, they didn't tell me what to expect. If y'all are asking people, what should I expect in this process all the time? Like, it's okay to ask that. It's okay to ask that. But I had this to my client, one of my clients yesterday. They were practicing for their interview. And again, I was doing a mock, and I'm going to get back to my story. I realize I'm going down my little rabbit holes, but that's why I got my board up there to keep me, keep me focused. Okay. We were practicing, and then they had asked 2 questions at the end, because I always teach my clients to ask questions at the end of the interview. Don't ever go on that interview without no questions, okay? But also ask strategic questions. This person asked, okay, so what would make someone a good candidate for this position? What would make someone not a good candidate for this position? And this person was so proud. They're like, oh, yeah, I asked that question. And they were like, yeah, people don't ask them that question. Yeah. And I was like, that's a great question. However, you want my opinion? You want my coaching? I typically ask my clients, do you want some coaching? Okay. I would not ever ask that question. That's a self-serving validating question. That's a validation question. You're trying to make yourself feel good. You're trying to say, okay, what are you looking for? Oh yeah, I'm that. Versus me, I'm saying, hey, customer success. This is how I got my VP job. So I know that whenever it comes to creating a success plan, that there could be some challenges when it comes from ensuring that it's in alignment with the district goals versus maybe a leader versus our platform goals. I typically like to really have an intimate conversation with all parties to figure out what is a clear definition of success. I'm curious to know, how do you all overcome challenges when it comes to misalignment with getting the platform goals aligned with the district goals? Okay. I'd be like, that's a great question, girl. That's a great question. Because the only person that would know that is a veteran CSM. I tell my clients all the time, you have to be the job you're applying for. There is no magic fairy wand. Whoop, where's my wand? I have another one. I'll pull it out just because I'm extra. This is my wand. I actually got my wand when I went to the ceremony in Harry Potter. So if you all know, you choose your house, but the wand chooses you. And the wand chose me. Okay. My wand is a larch in Phoenix feather wand. Now my ADHD is winning, but I'm going to tell you about it. So this Phoenix feather basically says the Phoenix feather is known for acting on their own accord. And this going to be balanced out by larchwood, but basically it says it instills courage and confidence in the caster, thus giving the caster, in certain instances, the ability to rein in an otherwise rebellious core. A larch wand is also known for allowing its master to realize fully the extent of their talents. So, boom, boom, boom. But I got this wand out to say, there is not going to be like, boom, you're a CSM now. No, you have to be the CSM before you get to that job, before you get to that interview, because they're going to be asking you CSM questions. Instead of saying, what are you looking for in a company or a client? And then the other question of like, oh, what would make someone not good at the job? If you are the CSM or the salesperson or whatever you're applying for, you should know what makes someone not good at the job. Okay? You should know. I don't need someone to tell me what makes someone good at the job. I'll tell you exactly how I'm not that. Let me tell you how I'd approach my book of business. Right? This is how I approach my book of business. Tech touch, mid-market, enterprise, I have 3 different approaches. Okay? In this position, I will do this, I will do this, I will do that. I will ensure that my tech touch accounts do not feel like they are a tech touch. They're going to feel like they're enterprise. Okay. Curious to know, what does your team do whenever they have a challenging account? Question mark. Okay. You have to be the job that you are before you get the job. But fast forward, this is how I'm interviewing. This is how I interview. Okay. They move those interviews around. They moved all those interviews around. I think that same week I had three interviews. And then the final round interview was with the CEO. Y'all, I'm literally in my hotel room doing my final round interview. Okay, I told my friend, I'm like, go in the bathroom, leave me alone. I gotta do this interview. I literally have my whole vacation clothes, and I had brought my blazer for this final round interview. And they made it a point to extend that job offer to me before I got on that cruise. Because they wanted me bad. Okay? They wanted me bad. But of course they wanted me bad, of course. So you need to be that confident in your interview and getting a job offer. Now, did I know for sure I had it in the bag? No, but I believed it. And that's all that matters. I believed it. You have to believe it. Right? And this was also prior to that. I had just gotten 2 or 3 redirection emails from other companies. Okay? The only reason I'm good at it is because I learn from my interviews. I don't keep getting mad at the recruiters, right? My initial response might be, oh, we did a great job, because I've made it to final rounds and haven't gotten the job. Okay? I always reflect. I don't just think back and say, oh. I even see some people when a company reposts the job, they're like, hey, I see some of y'all write, hey, I applied for the job. I would love to hear back. And it's okay for y'all to do that. It's okay for you to network and let them know. But I also want you to know, in order for you to get the job offer, you need to do the work required to get the job. You need to sell yourself on the work required to get the job. Sell yourself on the work required. Okay? Poor teacher is blaming other people. Validation. I talked about that. Stop putting the validation in the interview. Stop putting validation in the recruiter. Stop putting validation in external factors. Some people literally like, oh, I feel like I'm doing a good job if I just get an interview. Like, stop that. You should not be getting the validation in the interview. Like, be excited. Like, yeah, I got an interview. All right, now let me prepare for my job. Let me prepare to get this job offer. Okay? Until I get my job offer. Until I'm good at getting job offers. Okay? Until I'm getting job offers. What's the other thing? So not practicing, I'm over that. Wanting interviews as the answer. So again, wanting an interview is not the answer to getting a job offer. Okay? One thing I wrote down, letting it take you out. I mentioned this before. Letting it take you out. When you all don't get the job, y'all let it take you out. I had on my group coaching call yesterday, I had everyone report in the comments, like, how does it feel? Let me know how it feels when you don't get the job. They're like, done, crash out. Like, they are crashing out. Crashing out. Okay? And then here's the thing. You will crash. This is the part where I say you're going to suffer, but you're going to be happy about it. You're going to be happy about it. Okay? You are going to suffer. I have been, actually, let me pull up the quote that I read to my clients. Actually, I'll save it for the end. But just know I have a quote for y'all behind. I have a quote for y'all. Is this the quote? Yep, I'll read that at the end. Okay. So just know that a poor teacher mindset, and is again the POUR, because you're pouring into others, because you're so used to getting the job after you get an interview, you are allowing these interviews to take you out. Like, you are making these redirection emails mean that you are not good enough for the job, when that's not the truth. What's probably happening is you are just not reflecting enough, or you thought that the interview was the gold. I had one client who said, like, I just thought if I have the interview, my job offer is coming tomorrow. Okay. It can be. It can. But and I'm doing a research study. But from my brain already right now, The people who get jobs faster, they know how to do the job, but they also have cried. I know this sucks, but every client that has gotten a job has cried. They have allowed themselves, and even if they didn't allow themselves, like they crash out and then they got back up. Okay. You're going to crash out. So it's like, instead of you trying to have a challengeless journey of like, oh no, I'm going to get these interviews and they're going to turn to my job offer. Like, yeah, no, I know she's talking about those people, but it won't be me getting my job offer. Like, allow yourself to just prepare. What am I going to do when I get my redirection email? Okay. What am I going to do? What's going to be my ritual of when I don't get the job offer? Am I going to wallow in self pity? If y'all watch The Grinch, when he was going over his list of things to do, he's like, I have to wallow in self pity. Then I have to torment myself. I have to wash my dog. I have to organize. Like, what all he thinks he said was like, allow yourself. Like, what one of my best friends, like, we had joked about it. Like, some days, like, hey, like, I'm about to crash out today. Today's a crash out day. I'm gonna crash out. I plan my crash outs before I get my lashes done. Okay. I am not someone who does not experience pain. It's just that I've experienced pain so much that I am just now deeply resilient. And that's what I want you all to move into. Stop letting these interviews take you out. Stop, like, the poor teacher just can't handle the fire. Like, you just expect to, because you got an interview, you should get the job offer. Because they read your resume, y'all, a lot of y'all, oh, y'all read my resume. Why are you asking these questions? Why are you asking these questions? Okay. Um, Yeah. You just expect, you have to be able to handle fire. You have to become deeply resilient. Okay. Being deeply resilient is the goal that we're aiming for. What can I do when I don't get the job offer? And how am I going to still show up? How do I know that this is a part of the process? I always say to my clients all the time, how many times have you gone to the classroom and told your kids to sit down and told them what to do on the board and they listened to you the first time? Okay. They don't listen. That's what they do. Okay. That's like you getting, and there are teachers who get mad every time. If you get mad every time, okay, you're going to be mad about this. So you have to figure out, where in my life do I keep getting mad about things that are going to happen? Okay. Poor teacher mindset also believes that the world, everything's happening to them. A lot of us are walking around as if we're the only ones going through stuff. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. Everybody. There is nobody on this planet who's having a challenge-free life. There are millionaires that have problems. I'm a millionaire with problems. Okay. I got millionaire problems. Okay. My current problem right now is I'm trying to figure out, the 3-part birthday. I'm having a 3-part birthday trip. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I want to spend my birthday. Okay. Everyone's problem. And I also have other problems. That's not the only ones, but like, those are the ones I focus on. Like, I know I'm not expecting my life to not have any problems. And a lot of y'all are expecting to have a challengeless journey. There are no challengeless journeys. And if you do have a challengeless journey, easy come, easy go, you're most likely unhappy and you're listening to this podcast trying to get another life. Okay. Because it is a little bit, and I'm not going to, but it is easy to get a teaching job. It is. Fight me. Fight me. I don't fight, but fight me. I don't fight because my nails. But it is easy to get a teaching job. I don't care what y'all say. Because some of y'all, like, I'm in a district. Well, it's actually very challenging to get a teacher job. Go down the street. Go be a sub. It's easy to get a teaching job. I'm so sorry, babes. I'm so sorry, babes. It is easy. Easy come, easy go, or you're getting a job that you don't really like. Stop expecting to have a challengeless journey. Couple other things. Poor mindset. This is another one when it comes to interviews and job offers. A lot of teachers, and again, this may be open to some coaching. I'm not calling none of y'all nothing, but a lot of teachers are expecting to not have to invest any time or any money in this journey. They are expecting to not invest any time or any money. They just need a job offer fast. I've talked to some people. Oh, I don't have time. Nope. I don't have no time to do none of that. I need a job tomorrow. Laughing. Because who doesn't want money tomorrow? Ask if I were to say, do you want $1 million today or tomorrow? Who's gonna say tomorrow? Who's gonna say tomorrow? And if you're that person, because there's always someone who just wants to like be that person. If you're just that person, like, oh no, I'll get it tomorrow. Okay, get it tomorrow, girl. I'm getting it today. Everybody wants a job tomorrow. Everybody wants more money tomorrow. Everybody wants it instant. Everybody wants that. But it's like there are teachers, and again, I said this in my last episode. One, I don't know which order I'll be recording these episodes, but poor teacher mindset is I'm done. I don't have time or money. I don't have time or money to nope. I just need a job. I just need a job. I'm not paying no money. I'm not paying nope. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm not paying nothing. Nope. I want tips. Don't try to sell me anything. Don't try to sell me nothing. I don't want nothing. I've paid hundreds. I've paid thousands. You're going to have to invest something if you want to be a rich teacher. And if you, again, I always tell people, if you don't want to pay no money, then you will have to invest a lot of time. And it's okay. Like, it's all right to do that. But to, number one, if you are someone who's, okay, I'm not paying no money, that is a poor teacher mindset. And so sorry, babes, I love you. But it is a poor teacher mindset. And it's also a result of survival, because a lot of teachers are living in survival mode. And especially if you're not making the money that you want to make. But I also want y'all to know there are, in the most loving way possible, y'all, there are other jobs that are also underpaid and also overworked. So y'all are not the only ones. And sometimes you have to be reminded of that, but you're not the only ones. So there are solutions to all of your problems. If you just don't want to invest no time or no money because you want a job tomorrow, again, the most loving way possible, go work at Target. Go work at a restaurant. Go work somewhere else if you don't want to do this work. Okay, but if you do want this job, if you want the 6-figure jobs, you're going to have to invest time and money. I mentioned this before. So there's also people who like pay money and they expect that just because they paid money to get the result. Oh, I paid someone and it didn't work. I was like, what do you mean it didn't work? What does that mean? Riddle me that. What does that mean? Explain it to me like I'm 5. What do you mean it didn't work? And then I asked questions and they said, oh yeah, I paid someone to do my resume. I'm like, who did you pay to do your resume? Who did you pay? And what did they promise you? So like if you've ever made an investment, and again, this is and I may do a whole episode on this. But like when it comes to getting a job offer, comes to getting interviews, I have people like, okay, I'm paying all this money and it's not getting work. What are you doing? And what did you pay for? Again, I'm not gonna go too deep in the resume or anything, but like just the fact that you're just not willing to pay, that means you're also not willing to do other things. That also means you're not willing to do other things. And how many times are you gonna say no? How many times are you gonna say no? This is not me to try to convince you to pay someone, or not even to convince to pay me. Like, I don't even want that energy. If you're someone who's like, I don't want to do nothing, use my free content, boo. Use it. Okay? I'm not expecting everyone to be my client. Like I mentioned, this podcast is, no one's paying me to do this. No one's paying me to do I pay actually to do this. I have to pay to record my podcast, the editing software. I have to pay to publish my podcast. I have to pay to send the emails out. I have to pay. Like, I have to pay. I have to pay. I can't just say, okay, no, I should just be able to put my content out for free. I did do that. I put my content for free on TikTok. But even still, that's time. I have to take time to record those videos. It's not just lollygaggy, okay, I have no time. I know other things to do. Like, this is work. This is a part of my job, right? And at one point, I did start to, not resent it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a job. This is a job. It's a lot of work. I have to record a lot of videos. But I always tell myself, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? My whole point is, if you are having that poor teacher mindset, you feel like you don't have to pay any money, or your thought is, I don't have the money to afford it. Again, this is a poor teacher mindset. And if you don't break out of it, you will remain to be pouring yourself out to other people, and you will remain the salary that you have in the most loving way possible. If you want to be a 6-figure earner, you have to think, what would my 6-figure versions of myself be doing? What would she be doing? What would she be thinking? What would she be invested in? What has she already invested in? Okay. And again, if you've had investment hurt where you've invested and it didn't get you the result that you wanted, what did you pay for? If you paid for a resume, even still, because I don't know where I mentioned it before, but let's say you did pay for a resume. Let's say that they did promise that they'd get interviews, right? Typically, when people are not getting, if your resume, truly, I have to see your resume. I can't tell you what your resume is. Okay. Side note, did you know that there's 3 ways to work with me? 3 ways. 1, free content that you're listening to right now. 2, I'm releasing my exit plan course. And if you are someone who has paid someone to do your resume, if you want my eyeballs on your resume, for everyone who signs up, so you need to be on my wait list, my exit plan course wait list. And if you sign up before the 28th or before spots, because I know that a lot of people have been waiting for me to drop a course. Okay. I may have to put a cap on it because I'm not trying to review a million resumes. So I want to give you authentic and not be tired energy, or it's going to take me a little bit longer. But right now, by the December 28th, so it releases December 14th. If you're listening to this in live time, by the 28th, I will review your resume and it's going to be a fix my resume review. I'm going to tell you, you're going to tell me exactly what, jobs you've been applying for with that resume. And I'm going to give you exactly why you have not been getting interviews. And even better, in the course, my exit plan course, I'm going to walk you through what you should have on your resume. So you get to um, fix your resume with my frameworks. And then I will look at your resume and give you feedback so you'll know what to implement. Okay. That is my exit plan course. And for those who are asking what the difference is, so if you are a current client and you're like, what's this course that you're dropping? This course is for people who are not sure where they want to go. They want to know what all their options are. They essentially want to create their exit plan into corporate, but they don't know where to start at all. Like they don't know that they want to do EdTech customer success or EdTech sales. Okay, you want to figure out what all your options are. You want to figure out what it looks like to navigate leaving your job. Even if maybe you're not planning to leave now, if you are someone who's like, I want to leave at the end of the school year, I want to leave later, that's what the exit plan course is for. And my bonus is I am reviewing your resume, and I'm doing 2 live coaching Q&A calls in there. So normally the only way to get coaching from me is in my mentorship. So I'm doing 2 group coaching calls in the course. So you will be able to go through your curriculum and then ask questions. So I don't believe in a sit and get course. So you will be able to get all of that, your exit plan. Now, if you're someone, to know the difference, if you are someone who knows for sure you want to go into ed tech, customer success, or sales, and you're ready to get a job offer in less than 6 months, or even if it's not in 6 months, if you want to know everything you need to know, so that way I know, like, not just what I need to know, but like having mock interviewing done for you, resume support. Like you won't have to worry about your resume. I'm going to literally polish it for you. LinkedIn polish, everything polished. Okay. Hair done, nails done, everything, everything's in this mentorship. Okay. You get to also be friends with other 6-figure educators. The program is called 6-Figure Educator. Lately, I have been like really honing in on connecting. A lot of my clients now have friends who are already in ed tech sales, ed tech customer success. Whenever they're applying for a job, I'm like, hey, one of my clients works there. Reach out to them. Like they have a network. I love it. I love it. And for those who are also asking, I do only now exclusively work with women. Okay. It's a girls club. It's a girls club, girls room only. But those are the 2 ways you can work with me. Look at the show notes for all of the information. All right. So, but yeah, besides not wanting to pay money, etc. Because again, the alternative of you not spending money or getting the help, the support that you need, you're gonna stay stuck. And if you're not gonna stay stuck, then don't stay stuck. Figure out how to make it work. A lot of the poor mindset is not willing to make it work. So let's say, all right, let's say you really actually, okay, I really physically do not have the money. Okay. Again, I am releasing that exit plan course. It's gonna be $297 right now. Even still, I have clients who have been resourceful. Resourceful. I have clients who are working at Target. I have clients who are working at restaurants. When I say all this, I have clients who are very creative, who are door dashing, who are delivery drivers, who are Instacarters. They are making it work and they are getting jobs. They did what they need. I had one client who didn't even have a laptop. Okay. She got herself a laptop and she got herself a job. She didn't even have a laptop. She didn't even have a laptop. And this person got a laptop and they got themselves a job. Okay. They got themselves a job and they got another laptop from their company. Okay. So if you're someone who don't even have a laptop at your house, like this girl didn't have a laptop. I have it's like a couple clients who didn't have a laptop. They only had their computer at school. People out here being creative. They're like, I need your help. I'm like, I'm not doing it by myself. Okay. Like, I'm not doing it myself. But either way, both are good options. Okay. Both are good options. But you're not willing to make it work. What can you do with the money that you have? What can you do with the time that you have? Okay. Because the story of the job market is bad. It's so challenging. You're going to believe something. So if you want to keep believing that story, that's a poor teacher mindset in the most loving way possible, babes. Um, last thing about the poor teacher mindset. So another thing that happens really when you're not willing to make it work, I call it you're stuck in the matrix. So if you are someone where you know what you need to be doing, but you're not doing it, but you're not doing it. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can make it work. You don't believe in investing. You don't believe in figuring it out. You're stuck in the matrix. You're stuck in the matrix. God, some clients are like, yeah, you're stuck on the matrix. That triangle, oh, you're on the triangle. That's all that's happening. You're not stuck. You're most of the way possible. Being stuck is also a choice. Being stuck is also a choice. Being stuck is a choice. Being overwhelmed is a choice. And the thing is, I know because I'm stuck on some things, but it's a choice. If I'm not doing anything about it, I'm aware of it, but I don't complain about it no more. I'm like, oh, yep. That's why, again, I have a little board. This is avoidance activation. I'm aware of things that I need to get done, but I'm also not shaming myself for it. For me, it helps my brain to at least have it on a sticky note to know what I need to do and when I'm doing it, but I don't shame myself for it. Okay. So that's that. What else? Okay. Now let's go on to rich teacher mindset. The rich teacher is doing all these things. And the best part about this, the switch from poor teacher to rich teacher is instant. The switch from poor teacher to rich teacher is instant. Okay? It's instant. All right? And this will only go over your head if you are still burnt out. The people who are burnt out are going to be like, I'm not, what she got to say? It's not that easy. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. Okay? I only talk on things that I understand. Y'all will not ever hear me come talk about fractions. You won't hear it. You won't ever hear me talk about fractions. You won't hear me talk about the multiplication table after 6. I won't teach on the 8s. I can teach on the 1s, the 9s, and even with the 9s, I do the trick of 9 times 1 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18. I'm not talking about nothing I haven't been through. So if y'all are, even some clients, they get activated when I give certain coaching, and again, I am a lover girl. I'm not a mean person. My name is Jazmyne, and I do mean well. But I want everyone to be successful. I want all of my teachers to make more money. And there is nobody out here on this internet telling y'all what I'm telling y'all. Other people are saying, find tips to get an interview. Find things to say in the interview. I'm over here telling y'all what y'all are actually experiencing and what you need to do to get a job offer. So, rich teacher. Rich teachers are the master of their new role. They are thinking, how am I already the master of my new role? Whatever your new role is, study it just like you became a teacher. Rich teachers, to get the job offer, they are a master of their new role. They know that role in and out. All my clients who got job offers fast, they know that role in and out. And not like a pop quiz version, but like they know it well enough. They have perspective. They know well enough whenever they are asked a question in the interview, they take it a second and then they answer it. Okay. What else? I was going to tell a story, but I won't. Master of new role. Master of identity. There is a lot of identity work. Okay. One of my clients, we were talking about this yesterday about identity work. Like she had to really shed the identity of her current job to step into this new one. And now she's going to final round interviews. And she's on final round interviews. And you have to let go of your teacher identity. You cannot bring your teacher self to this interview because you're not, unless you are applying for jobs to be a teacher, you got to leave that girl alone. Because this also presents as when people say, okay, I do know the role in and out, and they come to the interview talking about how passionate they are about education, passionate about helping students. I'm like, ma'am, where do they mention students in the job description? And I love my clients who notice it. So you have to, where is, do I have it on there? I'm gonna put master of self awareness. Master of self awareness. I said before, when you are preparing for your interviews, you, this is great. I'm gonna tell my framework that I came up with. So I have a new framework for my clients. It's called 10 no's. 10 no's. Okay. You want to prepare that you're going to get 10 redirection emails a week. Okay. If you're doing my philosophy of 100 applications in 30 days, 10 applications will get redirected. You will get a redirection email. Do not, oh, okay, you get 10. And I tell them 5 no's. You're going to prepare for your interviews. 5, you're going to be really, really prepared for your interviews. And people are still going to tell you no 5 times minimum. Okay. Now, that's going to happen. It is a non negotiable. It's going to happen. And I know you may be thinking, what you mean I'm going to get 5 no's? Like, what you mean by that? If my resume is good, if I'm doing all this, why am I getting no's? The only reason why I get yeses, why I'm not afraid of getting no job offer, like, if y'all want, I'm not going to do, because I'm not, I'm not going to do that. But to go get a job offer, another one, I can go get one. And I can say that with my chest. I can go get another job offer. I really can. I can get a job offer whenever I want. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I know I can go get one because I know that the process is going to take at least, um, for getting a job offer, it takes at least 4 weeks because of the process, 2 to 4 weeks to get a job offer from getting the job. I mean, getting your first interview, right, with that company. So if you measure it from that company getting a job offer, it usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get a job offer. It's not going to be you get a job offer tomorrow like teaching. Teaching, you get a job offer and you start the next week. It's not corporate. So I know it's going to take time. I know that I may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I am a cup of tea for you. A. I am the strongest cup of tea. You want this cup of tea at your company? I get a job offer. But it's because I got no's. I got no's. Okay. I remember in one of the interviews, they asked me why am I leaving my current job. And I said, yeah, their tech team is in a different country. The support team, I don't really like that. I want them to be not there's nothing wrong with being in a different country, but it was kind of annoying because like they were only available certain times. Like it was only available in the morning. Y'all, every tech company has a country. Everybody has their support team in a different country. It is what it is. Like they do it for jobs. So like a lot of companies, especially if they are a founder or CEO of color, one of the companies I worked for, he was Indian, so he was very adamant about hiring people from India. And again, for me, it was just a nuisance because like I had to get up at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. to do a call. Okay, and I know that for teachers, they go, "Oh, I get up to 7 a.m., 8 a.m. every day." Like, but for me, for my role, I'm like, no, I don't take a meeting until 9 a.m. Okay, 9 a.m. When I was working at the CSM, I was like, nope, 9 a.m. is my first call. I'm not taking no calls at 8. Nope, not doing it. But long story short, 10 redirection emails, 5 no's from interviewing. After you get your 5 no's from interviewing, you need to know why you're getting no's after that. After you get those no's, you should know how to get a job offer. You should know how to get to the final round. Okay. And because once you get your 5 no's, study your 5 no's. Why did you get, like, you should be able to know why you got to know each time. Okay. Without the company. If I can look back and watch my interview, what's something that I can refine? How can you be a little bit like, okay, I can see why I didn't get that one. I can see if I get that one. Now, there are 2 of them you cannot control. If they go with another candidate, they go with another candidate. You can't control that. You will get a job offer and they go with another candidate. 2 reasons, like one of the jobs I did not get, they went with someone else because they were looking for someone who had specific experience with that product. Or one of them, they knew that I had got myself to a point where I was too advanced. That's how I got my current role. They were like, yeah, you seem like you are a little too advanced and we're looking for someone who's going to stay in this role for a long time. So we'd love to consider you for leadership. Okay. But also, like, you never actually really know why, but you cannot control that. The only thing you can control, though, is what can I do to get better for my next round? How can you not make this personal? How can you not make this personal? How can you just realize, okay, I can see why I didn't get that one, and not take it as another thing that people do, poor mindset, is I gave my all and I'm just afraid that I'm going to hear no. I did my best and I didn't get the job. If I kept that energy, if I allowed those no's to take me out, I would not have been because to get the job offer, you have to be in what I call pick you energy, not pick me energy. Pick me energy is like, oh, this is why you should be hiring me. And, oh, I'm doing a job. I say, okay, you all should pick me. Pick me. Pick me. This is what I'm doing. Pick me. Versus pick you energy is like, oh, yeah, of course I want to pick you. You're the right fit for the team. I have one client who told me that the manager said, like, when I was talking to you, your personality, like your energy, you're excited. It was a couple of them, actually. Actually, it was a lot of them, actually. Personality. You listen to them with Jazmyne personality, but a few of them, Samaya, they said that their personality is what got them hired. Imagine you not showing your full personality because the last person hurt your feelings. Imagine that. Imagine that you just cost yourself the job offer because you were scared that you weren't going to get a job offer. There is a 50-50 chance you're going to get this job. You're either going to get it or you won't. You're either going to get this job or you won't. Get the job or you don't. Okay? You have to learn how to navigate that uncertainty with confidence. I don't know where I'm going. One of my clients gave the example of like on the monkey bars. You know, if you're on the monkey bars and you're holding on. So like some of y'all are holding on to those monkey bars, not because you're afraid of what's going to be over there, versus you could be, you have to give yourself like time to get there, like to jump to the other one. There is a 50% chance that you will fall, or there's a 50% chance that you're going to get to the next monkey bar. Okay? If you're just holding on, how do you expect to get to that next one? Okay? So yes, you will be told no, even with your best interviewing. And your only job is to figure out what can you do to get better? How can you refine? That's the only way I'm able to get job offers without any doubt. Know that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I know that people want this tea. Period. People don't have, when our clients, they said they don't have a me. They don't have a Jazmyne. They don't. And I know you want me. I know you want me. Don't you wish your CSM was hot like me? You want this, and you should have that same energy. Of course you want me. So you have to do some identity work. You cannot be showing up as a teacher. This is another thing. It's a sidebar, but it is relevant. This is kind of like a throw in all episode, but a lot of teachers are going into these interviews wanting to talk about being passionate about students so bad. Y'all want to be passionate about students so bad. Y'all go in and y'all fall in love with the company. Oh, I love this company. I love it. I can see myself working here. I love the curriculum. I really love it. But again, ain't in love with the interview process. Okay, but are you able to explain your skills? Are you able to articulate your skills? And also being passionate about education. We don't care about that in the corporate world. Are you passionate about getting these renewals? Are you passionate about bringing in some sales and business? If you want to do EdTech, that's what you got to do. Rich teacher, okay, I am the identity. I am a CSM. This is exactly how I do it. This is how I approach local business. When you get in your role as a CSM or as a sales consultant, again, there are other roles, but like EdTech, that's my mentorship. That's what I help people get into the most. You have to be able to showcase yourself as a problem solver. You get paid more money to solve bigger problems. If you want to be passionate about students, stay in the classroom. Okay. But also realize you will be passionate and you will be helping serve schools and school districts by becoming a great CSM. Think about all the vendors that you all have at your school right now. There are salespeople and there are CSM that are not former teachers, that y'all are letting other people take your jobs because they know how to sell their skills harder. Okay? I want you to also know y'all are in competition with other teachers. You're not just in competition with other corporate people. Because a lot of y'all, the poor teachers are like, oh, they need to hire teachers. Like anytime someone goes on a teacher campaign, I'm like, oh, they're on the triangle. They're on the triangle. I don't shame any of them. I'm like, oh, they're on the triangle. That's fine. They'll go out with it. Or they won't. But like if you're on there campaigning for teachers, if you see anyone campaigning for why you should hire teachers, people are hiring teachers. They're just hiring the ones who are selling their skills for the role they're applying for. So you have to be a master of identity and really become your new role, a master of your new role, master of, and then the next one's emotion to like, again, that 10-no framework is to build emotional regulation. This is why I tell clients you should be in therapy. You should be in therapy. Again, I'm going to coach you on your mindset. I'm a certified confidence coach. I'm a certified mindset coach. I'm a certified certified career coach to help you get your jobs in EdTech specifically and getting jobs, master jobs. But I also am a master self-proclaimed because I'm not scared of anybody. If someone says they haven't gotten a job, That's why even with my mentorship, um, even after the 6 months of mentorship, I still provide support until you land your job because I know that there's a reason why you're not getting a job. I'm not afraid. Like, and typically, again, it's they're not applying for enough jobs. Like going back to if you pay for someone to do a resume and you have only applied to 5 jobs, it's you. We got to apply to more jobs. Now, if your resume after 100 applications and you're for one job, one career path, you're applying to 100 jobs and you're not getting jobs, then we can look at your resume, but also it's your job title. But typically, when people aren't getting interviews, they're not applying to enough jobs and they're not applying to the right job titles. That's it. And then they get the interviews because people get the interviews and they're excited about, oh, I got these interviews. But it's like, and they are excited. They're going out to dinner for interviews, and that's fine. I want y'all to start normalizing. Like, this is good. I want you all to normalize just how you celebrate these interviews. Celebrate the redirection emails too. Celebrate those too. When you get 10 redirection emails, all right, y'all, we're going with some ice cream. I got redirection emails. I want you to be excited because the more no's you get, you're closer to your yes. The more no's you get, you are closer to your yes. The more no's you get, you are closer to your yes. The less no's you get, the further away you are from your yes. Okay? Next master of time management. Make time. If you feel like you don't have time to do this journey, you're either burnt out or you're not taking it seriously, or you have not sold yourself on the work required to get your job. So be a master of making progress, not excuses. If there are times that you don't have the ability to focus on this work, okay, that's fine. Don't shame yourself about it, but just tell yourself that this is important. And also make it fun. Make this journey fun. Make it fun. I make my business fun. I love my business. I love working. Okay. I love my little contract job. I got a couple more. I love working. I love money. I love making money. I love being able to do whatever I want to do. That's what I'm sold on this work. I work long days, but I'm sold on it. I know that when it comes to being a business owner, it's not even my full 2 years of business. I'm only been in business for a year and a half. I know from me getting mentorship, me paying to be in rooms with other entrepreneurs, I know that the first couple years of your business is going to be challenging. So I'm not sitting here wishing, and I did at one point. At one point, I'm like, yeah, I get to do my own schedule. I can do whatever I want. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is work. Y'all tricked me. This is work. And a lot of y'all do feel tricked. Like okay, wait, I didn't know it would be this much work to get a job offer. Yeah, it's still be some work. You're gonna suffer, but you'll be happy. Okay? You'll be happy. Okay? I don't have no Sunday scary. You know what I do on Sundays? Well, I don't know. I don't do it every Sunday, but right. This Sunday, I'm going to the movie theater. I'm going to the movie theater. I'm so excited. Okay. Watching 2 movies. I'm watching by the time when I'm recording this episode, I am watching Now You See Me 3. I love that movie. I love that movie. I love magic. And then The Running Man. I'm so excited to watch those. Um the last 3 masters, you need to be a master of energy that is peaceful. If you have chaos in your environment, that is not, I want you to think about what would allow a plant to grow? What would allow a child to develop? What would allow a new teacher to grow and really love the profession? But more importantly, like what is required for a peaceful life? How can you give yourself a peaceful life right now? A lot of us are victim of I will be happy when, but when I get more interviews, I'll be happy. When I get the job offer, I'll be happy. No, you have to be happy now. You have to show up to your interviews with peace and energy that is peaceful where people want to hire you. When we're hiring people, if we just needed a robot, we'd hire a robot. And there are AI things. There are some jobs that they don't need people for. Not all of them. They still need CSM. They still need salespeople. They still need so many jobs. They still need an HR department. They still need so many jobs. They want to hire someone where like, oh, I can see her working at my company. Yep, I can see her working there. I can see her working here. I love her energy. She'd be great with the team. You need that energy. And if you are burnt out and you show up to that interview, because again, if you show up to the interview and you're burnt out, you're most likely rehearsing your answers, trying to say the right thing. Listen to my episode about teacher interviewing versus corporate interview. You're most likely showing up in an energy that's not peaceful. You're showing up in an energy like I need this job. You're showing up asking, hey, like what's a good quality of someone working here? Yep, I can do that. No, a person who is peaceful because they are master of their new role and also master of what's the word I'm looking for? Master of resiliency. Resiliency. We have to be a master of resiliency. We have to navigate uncertainty with confidence, knowing that you are going to cry, knowing that you are going to suffer, but you will be happy. Okay. Master of investing. The rich teacher invests time and or money. Okay. No one else is telling y'all that. Other people are saying, you don't need to pay for someone. The people who are encouraging you not to spend money are not investors themselves. And I mentioned this in my last one of my episodes. I don't listen to nobody that's not making the money that I want to make the way that I want to make it. Okay. Because there are people who are like, my podcast is serves different reasons. It is a way for me to share everything I wish I knew about leaving education, but I also am telling y'all about how I support people. Okay? I There are some people who they just like to post free tips on TikTok. Like that is their thing. Like they work a full-time job, and they just post on TikTok. Okay, I have a business. Okay? So I am posting for again, I also really love to post content, but my whole point is if people were telling you not to spend money, ask why they are telling you that. Why are they saying that? Just ask. Because every rich person knows that you don't play for free. And if you do play for free, it is not going to be a luxurious experience. I think a lot of people are expecting to win the lotto. You can win the lotto right now by deciding that you are going to get excited about this work and getting a job. That's winning the lotto. Stop waiting for the lotto to come to you. You are, and I mentioned this before, you got to be a mixture of healing your hyper independence, getting support, whether that is paid or free, however, whatever it is. But the 6-figure version I have, what has she invested time in? What has she invested money in? If you make 6 figures, you are investing in something. Okay, you are paying money for something. Because even some jobs will go, again, jobs are not going to pay you for your training, but jobs do give you PD. Okay, and you do have to invest time in learning it. Sometimes they'll say, go get a certification. Like one of my programs, not programs, one of my jobs, they say, hey, use your PD money. I recommend you go get your customer to customer certification. Go get all levels. You got to invest time to do that. Okay, and they're not paying for that. They pay you for the certification, but you have to invest your own time. Okay. I would do it on the clock, but you still have to invest time. So time or money, but you have to be a master of investing and knowing when to spend money and when to spend time. You cannot, 'cause I also don't want you to think that you're just throwing money because one poor mindset is you paid money so you should just get the result. No, even my team, my support team of coaches, I always talk about my money coach. She's my one-on-one coach. I paid for 6 months, and I didn't plan on renewing with her, but I was like, "You know what? Really, I do have some more money challenges." And I did renew with her, and she raised her price. I could have sat there and said, "Oh, no. Mm-mm. I'm getting all that I need in 6 months. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope." I thought about it. I'm okay, like, what have I learned from working with her? What new mindset shifts do I have? What have I gained? What knowledge do I have? How can I benefit from continuing to work with her? Okay? Yep, and I did. Now, for my next one, I don't think I'm going to renew again. I'm going to join her program because I feel like I've gotten all the breakthrough shifts. Like I know how to manage my money, know how to save my money. Like I think about all the things that I know now have mastered, but I still want to get coaching. And I'm joining some other masterminds that are going to tell me, but like I don't pay and expect them to give me the result. Like even my money coach, like she can coach me on my spending, she can coach me on everything. But if I don't stop swiping my card or inserting that chip or scanning it, she can't stop me from that. So it's like I healed my hyperindependence. I have a coach, but I am in charge of my success. So if I want the result that I want, what am I doing to get my result? Okay, what am I investing in? Time and money. Because even when you invest that money, you still have to invest time. The poor mindset is you expect to get results just because you paid money. No. You do that for support and then you are in charge of your success. Okay? I think the biggest poor mindset is paying to get results. You pay to get the result, but you also need to invest the time, even if you invest the money. Even if you invest the money. Okay? That's when I see people, I done courses, didn't work, did my resume right, didn't work. Like I had one person, I was like, girl, what does work in your life? What does work in your life if everything's not working? Is this a theme? Where else is working in your life? And do you want to have that story that nothing's working, or do you want to have that story that you believe that you're going to troubleshoot and you're going to be deeply resilient to get your result? Okay, which story you're going to believe? All right, so let's close out. Let's close out. I'm going to read the Michael Jordan quote. I'm going to close out. So if y'all have, this was in my classroom, actually. Michael Jordan said, I missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan missed the game-winning shot. They trusted him to get the shot, and he still kept going, and that is why he succeeds. He did not allow that failure to be permanent. Okay? He did not just say, okay, let me give up. Imagine if MJ gave up after that. He didn't even make his high school team. Imagine if he let them. Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay? Okay. Also, here's some things that I've been I'm closing out with things. When you tell yourself it's probably not going to work, the universe agrees. When you say that I'm ready for my next level, the universe also agrees. Your thoughts are your instructions. So whatever you think, yep. I don't think I'm making a job. You probably won't. Probably won't. I'm gonna get a job. Yep. You will, girl. Sometimes I do tell my clients, okay, so you don't think you're gonna get a job? You probably won't. There's always a 50% chance that you might not get the job. But if you don't allow your failure to be permanent, you will get a job. So again, even if you are already in your new job, if you want another job, if you want more money, if you want to continue in anything in your life, you need to be in charge of your success and be in charge of the words that you are saying. Okay? What else do I want to say? Again, you have a choice. You can ignore everything that I'm saying. You can keep smiling. You do the thing that actually leads to job offers. Let me slow my talking down. I realize I do talk really fast, but I just be getting excited. I get so excited. I want to intentionally slow down in my talking. Okay? The price of being hyper independent is that you suffer alone. A lot of high achieving women, especially educators, choose to stay hyper independent, and you do pay a price for doing it. So if you don't want to invest time or money, again, I'm not telling you all this is not an episode about investing. This is an episode of becoming your six-figure version of yourself who gets a job offer. If you do this by yourself, you will suffer in silence. My clients, even with clients working with me, I'm like, yep, you're still gonna get 10 no's. Yep, and you're still gonna get 5 no's. Yep, and you're gonna suffer and you're gonna be happy. Support changes your timeline. If you really want to collapse your timeline and support and be the driver of your success, validation must come from you first. I know it feels nice to get validation in an interview. I know it feels nice to be like, oh, I can't believe, and people even do this. I can't believe you gave me the job offer. Wow. Where did you all see in me? That is good, but like, I want you to start. How can you just start flocking your own feathers? How can you be, of course, I'm so excited. Of course, y'all give me this job offer. Like, be excited. I'm so excited y'all chose me. Yay! Woohoo! But of course you hired me. Me. How can you do that? Validation comes from you first, because if you keep seeking validation in the interviews, in other people, you're going to it's external and it's not real, and you're gonna eventually come to a place where you don't feel happy within yourself. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. That's why I validate myself for everything. That's why I got me a cake. I'm not even gonna be around nobody this weekend. I got my 1-year entrepreneurship cake. I have a cake that says I quit. Okay. I'm gonna get me a nice little dinner. I'm celebrating myself. Okay. I don't need to have someone, I may or may not even post. I have so many videos on my phone that I vlog. I'm so happy I'm vlogging again now because now I have a place to put my videos. But y'all, I had to buy the storage. So I have, where's my phone? I'll tell y'all how many. This is a side quest. I know this is a side quest, y'all. But I just want to just give y'all examples of what I be doing. But like I have 155 videos on my phone. Because I've been recording my moment. Sometimes I just record. I just want to record it for myself. I validate myself. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy for myself. I'm proud of myself for even putting in the work of recording this podcast. I'm so proud of myself for really coming up with systems that work that get clients job offers fast. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for leaving a marriage and being able to pay all my bills. I'm proud of myself for crying while driving. I'm proud of myself for pulling over and crying some days. I'm proud of myself for continuing, moving forward. Okay. Validation has to come from you first. And if you are not validating yourself, if you're a client, there is a private podcast about self-validation. Make sure you listen to it. But even if you're not a client, I want you to leave. How can I validate myself? Okay. And what would the 6-figure version of myself be doing? Okay. All right. I think that is everything. I think those are all my notes. I want you to make more money. I want you to know that this journey is not going to be the easiest, but you can make it easy with your thoughts. How can you make this easy? How can you make this fun? One of my clients, she wants to go to Japan. I said, okay, start planning your Japan trip. How can we make the work that's required a Japan trip? Okay. How can we plan this ultimate Japan vacation? And then just know a part of this is getting a job. Yeah, I'm getting a job. I'm going to do my interviews. Yep. This is all about Japan. This is not about me getting a job. I'm getting this job to go to Japan. Okay. I do my work so that I can just live my full-time life of being a movie star. But I still have my business. I'm not going to get rid of my business. I love my business. Okay. I love my business. My business is going to be so much bigger. And because I know that my business is going to be bigger, it's also beyond me. Think about you getting this job. If you really are passionate about education, the more you don't practice for your interviews, the more companies and schools are experiencing people who are not former educators teaching. If you want to serve education so bad, go interview, get you a job offer, and go serve these schools. Go do that. Serve these schools. Be the change you want to see. How many other teachers are also suffering? A biggest thing is that a lot of teachers cannot fathom actually landing a job offer. And I know that. So I'm doing a lot of belief work with my clients, doing a lot of belief work on this podcast. I want you to continue believing. I want you all, and some of this is happening. My clients don't see it, but clients will get the same interviews at the same time. And it's just funny to see my clients are my clients are the ones getting these interviews. Right? I have clients who all get the same, not all of them, but the ones who are applying consistently. I don't tell them, but some of them are getting the same interviews at the same time. And some of them are getting the job offers and some of them are not. Okay. But the whole point is you all are able to be the change you want to see by doing this work. Other teachers are going to see, wow. I have a lot of clients who's like, I saw other teachers. I think it was Ashley who said, I listened to Santana. Santana is one of my first clients. I saw Santana and I wanted to come back and be the success story for other teachers because I know I needed to see the teacher. This is beyond you. We are making history right now. We are taking our power back right now by being teachers who were bigger than our biggest excuses and making more money. And we are pretty rich teachers. We are rich teachers. Okay. When I did my search, there is no other rich teacher. There are not any rich teachers, but we're adding to it. You're going to be in the wall of fame of being a rich teacher by doing this work. How can you be excited about this work? And we get to be the inspiration for so many other people. There are so many jobs. We are not in an abundance. I mean, we are not in a lack of abundance. There's no scarcity. There's an abundance of jobs. There's an abundance of opportunity. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Stop life is about a surprise party that does not start until you get there. Stop rushing Take your time. The present is all you have. Right now, in this moment, how can I be happy about the work that I need to do to get this job? How can I be excited about the work required to get this job? How can I be excited knowing that I already have the job? How can I plan my trip knowing that I got this job already? Okay. And if you don't get the job, how can I continue to troubleshoot and get my job offer? Okay. All right, y'all. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you all on the next episode. Bye.